So glad you could be with us as we're looking at God's Word, still in John chapter 10. And Jesus is finished now with his conversation with the unbelieving Jewish leadership, with the Pharisees. And he leaves. Just to get kind of the sequence of things, he goes to the area of Perea. He would go north up the Jordan River and then cross the Jordan River. Perea was on the east side of the Jordan River. And that's where John the Baptist was baptizing initially, and that's where Jesus was baptized when he began his ministry. And then one other thing about that, after he leaves Perea, when he's on his way back to Jerusalem, he's telling his disciples, we're going to go back to Jerusalem and I'm going to be betrayed and scourged and crucified and rise on the third day. So after this trip to Perea, he'll be there a while, but that's the last place he goes before he heads back to Jerusalem to be crucified. He'll go through Jericho, and 2 blind men will be healed, and Zacchaeus will get saved, and then it's to Jerusalem, and he's there a week, and then crucified, rising on the third day. So it's moving along. So that would cause you to say, we're only in John chapter 10, and that's only about half of the book of John, and yet so much of it is just the last few weeks of Jesus' life. Quite a bit, just the last 10 days. Okay, I've said enough about that. Let's do the passage. He went away beyond the Jordan, John 10:40 through 42, to the place where John was first baptizing, and he was staying there. Many came to him and were saying, while John the Baptist performed no sign, yet everything John said about this man was true, and many believed in him there. Would you like to make a comparison? Jerusalem area, scribes and Pharisees saw sign after sign after sign. And these guys didn't see all those signs. They just said everything John said about him is true. You know, after his resurrection, you know what he said to Thomas. Thomas wasn't there the first time he appeared to the apostles, and Thomas said, oh, no, I don't care what y'all said. I want to see the holes in his hands and in his side. And then Jesus appeared a second time when Thomas was there. And he said, Thomas, because you've seen, you believe. Blessed are those who have not seen, yet believed. That would be these dudes in Perea. In Isaiah 53:1, Isaiah 53 is very much a description of the crucifixion of Jesus. And it starts out saying, who's believed our report? How many witnesses does it take before you're going to believe something? Over 500 people had personally seen Jesus after he rose from the dead. And how many more does it take to believe the report that Jesus Christ is risen and appeared to witnesses? I remember one time talking to somebody out on the fishing dock who claimed to be an atheist. And he said something about, well, you know, the Bible's just a bunch of fables and this and that, and stuff like that. And I said, well, you know, a lot of the people that claimed that Jesus was resurrected from the dead were put to death for saying what they said. And I said also about another 500 all at one time saw him after he was resurrected. And he changed the subject, said, you been catching anything? There's plenty of evidence. And we do not see the signs and wonders that Jesus performed, but they have been seen and they've been recorded and they've been preserved. Who's believed our report? If you're one of those who believes that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, crucified and resurrected on the third day and coming again, you're one of those who is blessed because you didn't see, but you believe. God bless you. Have a great day.